Hello, friends. Welcome to Karmic Astrology with BSMI. I'm so happy to give you this week horoscope and see how it goes. This is our first time meeting this way, so let's learn to work with each other and see what you love and also what I like to share and how we can come together and make magic. We are learning about this week and the horoscopes that are coming in. It's really interesting because I think I'm going to do my horoscopes and I'm going to really integrate tarot because it is something that I love to do as well. And sometimes the heavens is a little bit quiet. So that is something that this Monday is teaching us with the moon in Leo. So for reference, we're talking about June 10, 2024, and we're going to go through the whole week here. So June 10th is kind of a quiet day. We have the moon in Leo. She is going to be connected with Mercury in Gemini. So, what do we have to say about this? For the most part, the moon in Leo is wanting us to showcase ourselves and give ourselves permission to be heard and seen. Mercury is a lot about expressing ourselves and sharing our truth, sharing what's on our mind. And so Monday is all about us finding clever, fun ways to express ourselves and to share more of what's on our mind. Now, what I want to do is pull a tarot card to see what this energy looks like energetically, and then we can go from there. So, everybody take a deep breath, make sure that your collective energy comes in, and let's give it a go, okay? Days where the energy is a little bit quiet. Okay, okay, okay. So collectively, there's a feeling of nostalgia coming in this day of kind of balancing yourself in your new world because a lot of you guys have been already creating so much magic and manifesting new timelines. And this day is all about giving gratitude to where you have been, the wisdom that you carry, and creating space for your future to come ahead. So some of us are going to be making big decisions or have been making big decisions. And today is all about resting in that peace of mind, resting and trusting the path that you have chosen. And now this is a kind of a quiet Monday for you to let all of that integrate and allow the feelings to come up that need to be tended to. So that's very interesting. Okay. All right, we're gonna go into Tuesday, June 11th. Very interesting day. We have Venus connecting with Chiron. So Venus in Gemini is connecting with Chiron in Aries. And this conversation is about speaking openly and honestly about insecurities that you've had in the past. Now, there's a specific message with these insecurities. These are ones that have held you back from being seen. These are parts of you that have played small and have in some ways over responded to. So this is a more masculine response to somewhere where we feel inadequate or as if we are not enough. Now the moon on Tuesday is still going to be in Leo, so this is coming from a push to stand out. And so if we were to finally have the courage or the say to become our biggest advocate, this day is going to push us forward in us feeling more confident and more self-assured to share more of who we are and what we want to do out in the world. And I think this has a lot to do with the South Node being in Libra, and how a lot of us are learning how to unstick from certain relationships, as that's the collective lesson with us having the South Node in Libra is who have we blended too much with? Who are the people in our lives that we've essentially become one energy and we've minused out our sense of self and our identity? So Tuesday is a big day for that. Now, also, we're going to have Mars in Taurus, square Pluto in Aquarius. This is intense because Mars is all about, oh, you're going to make things happen at your will. And Pluto is Well, I'm kind of riding this steamboat of 18 years in this one energy field. Like I've focused so much energy here that I have momentum. And Mars kind of creates this momentum in the moment, but it's very strong. So, what we want to consider is that Mars is how we actively make karma. Our Mars is what motivates us to do anything in this life. And he's the one who's going to turn on the lights and get ourselves to go out there and do the things we need to do. And so in karmic astrology, we really look at Mars for what is actively creating and directing the person's karma. And so that is something to keep in consideration because this energy could easily go into power struggles and power dynamics. And again, this would be all in an effort to be seen, right? Because we're working with that South Node who's too much together with people. And the North Node in Aries is saying, hey, I'm here, I am someone. And the Moon in Leo is also about all of recognition. So with all of these together, this is almost like a budge and fight for your creative light to be seen and for you to be acknowledged as an individual. So be patient with yourselves during this day. And make sure that if and when you do respond to a situation, you are considering what you have in control within yourself. So, whatever situation comes up, remind yourself that there's so much more that you could do on your own versus convincing somebody else to see you a different way. All right, let's go into Wednesday, June 12th. So, we're going to have the moon is still going to be in Leo for a good chunk of the day, a good chunk of the night. And then the moon will go into Virgo. And then we're going to have Mercury square Saturn and the sun connect with Chiron. All right. So big revelations with Mercury squaring Saturn. So this has a lot to do with facts do not create faith. That's a big aha moment. The facts and intellectual ways of viewing the world and seeing the world doesn't always equate to a faithful point of view or a belief, a personal belief. So this day, Wednesday, is reminding us that the way into doing our intuitive growth with Saturn and Pisces doesn't always make sense in the factual intellectual world. It's hard to explain ourselves sometimes. And if we're trying to explain a dream, like how many of us have a hard time explaining our dreams because they just don't make sense. They are in this other world, in this subconscious place that doesn't have words. We can't really articulate because it's out of this world. It is an experience or visuals of things that we don't have names for, feelings, textures, even beings, and an odd combination of people. Like we don't have a language for the subconscious other than symbols, feelings, colors. It doesn't match the dictionary or the intellectual process of information. And that's kind of the budge and the fight that is happening on this Wednesday, June 12th, is that we will be pulled as to do we navigate life in a realistic way, or do we just kind of create our line and thread of faith and trust that we have been doing the intuitive work to intuitively see our path ahead? It's a big one. All right, Thursday, June 13th, we're going to have the moon in Virgo. And what we have this day is the sun connecting with Chiron in a very beautiful way. And this is going to mirror from yesterday as well, from the day before. And on this day, we're also going to have Mercury connect with Chiron as well. So there's a lot of self-soothing energy in the sky for Thursday, June 13th. It is about speaking your truth. Okay. Thursday comes from a place of being so directed in the healing that we've been doing, in the wounds that we have been feeling too vulnerable around, but opening space to have conversations that have been needing to take place. So it is a day where we are aware of the inner healing that has had to happen, yet we're not too protective of it and too afraid to be seen or speak our truth. And so that allows for more healing conversations to take place where you are openly able to hear how you have hurt someone or how someone has hurt you. And so, in that respect, you can have a more productive conversation from it. Whereas it's possible in the past, you've just been like, I can't really talk about that. I'm too sensitive to it. I don't want to share how I feel. This is a good day to troubleshoot any healing conversations that need to take place. So maybe this is you taking initiative to call somebody and say, hey, this sucked when you did this, and I just need to tell you how I feel. I need to express myself a little bit more. Or I know that this bugged you when I did this. Do you want to say anything else about it? Or do you want to say anything about it? I'm here to listen, you know. Um, June 13th. All right, let's go. Friday, June 14th, the moon will also be going into Virgo, or moving away from Virgo. I'm looking at this in real time. I mean, I took notes, but some of these notes. So we're going to have oh yes, Mercury conjunct the sun. And then in the later part of the day, we're going to have the moon go into Libra. All right. So I like this because it's very much still piggybacking on the day before, where it's like, because of these healing conversations or because of this open vulnerability, you and then have a more clear mindset as to how you express yourself. And so this in turn leads to feeling more seen. So confidence levels completely rise up now that you were able to release and let things go. Which is very forgiving. It's a very forgiving energy. You can also be, some people will be hearing back from others. Some people will be connecting and reaching out to old friends and people who they haven't talked to in a while, and just kind of explaining where they're coming from, where they have been, why they've been MIA, and also sharing the ways that they've grown. So don't be surprised if you get some sudden conversations around this Friday and unexpected phone calls from people that you have not anticipated. And no, this is not just relationships. It could be anybody. It could be a family member. It could be an old friend, coworker. You just never know who has you on their mind. Now, I did write a big word for this day, which is all about closure. And so there's a big signature on this day on coming to closure with certain relationships and where they are. So for a lot of us, a lot of people have open-ended relationships right now where we don't really know what the status is or what the title of it is, because of that South Node in Libra, who is making us do the extra work. And so a lot of people have pending relationships that are just kind of hanging out, and we don't know what to do with them. But this day does offer clarity as to how to navigate those connections, and also how to still be seen despite the discomfort of somebody else not seeing you. Because sometimes that could really handicap us, right? When we are we want attention from someone, or we want somebody very specific to see us, but they aren't. And so we kind of stop our worlds. And this energy is like, it's okay for them not to be super glued to you as a person for the moment. You can still shine. You can still let yourself be seen and show up in the world. So that's a really nice reminder. Friends, I hope that this was insightful. You guys will let me know in the comments. Of course, I'm going to do this more for the following week, and with much more detail and much more fun insights. But this was a goal that I had for today. And so I'm just glad that we got it through. Take care of yourself, and I will see you guys all very soon.